Hi folks, thank you for joining me once again. My name is Nick, we're on the Commodore Amiga, and we're looking at War Machine. It's a sci-fi platformer shooter type thing, published by Players Premier in 1989. Now we've already reviewed this game on the ZX Spectrum. I wasn't overly impressed with that one because of the bad layout design. I presume it's going to be roughly the same, but let's not prejudge it, although I sort of like already have. But you're based on a blue asteroid, XR27b, controlling the spaceman. We've lost contact with it. It's vitally important to our survival for some sort of mineral. Aliens have taken control of it, so we've got to go through. Here I am here. We also have to collect 4 parts of a pod, which is the ultimate war machine. Now you do this by unlocking bits of the map, collecting keys, extra lives, ammunition, and all other manner of other stuff. So here we go. So this is what I remember from the Spectrum version. There's a blue key. So it's not like gods or anything. It does look very basic, but 1989, quite early on when the Commodore Amiga's run. These sounds aren't very impressive. Look like they've been taken from some sort of like PD disc or something. I know that's not the case. Going up and down ladders, that seems to be fairly easy to do. I do like the background though. That's like red in the background. We've got the blue asteroid there, which we're walking through at the moment. So I didn't get very far on the Spectrum version. I do know roughly what to do here. First of all, we've collected a blue key. I think there's a blue door somewhere downwards to the right. Okay, so at the moment it's probably exactly the same. Now these early Amiga games, this one in particular, doesn't feel like a 16-bit, it feels like an 8-bit and a half, if such a thing exists. On the top left you see a red bar, a green bar and a blue bar. That's our shields, how much firepower we got left, and grenades also. Now I think, a bit like Strider, if I can get over the top of this, I think that thing below is sort of like a guard. I think that might be extra ammunition there too. So check out my bar, see if anything. I can't seem to get it. Check out my bar, see if anything goes up. Oh man, yeah. Control of this isn't great. So I've got that thing there, extra firepower. If you complete this game, let me know. But I think it would have bewildered quite a lot of kids early on without some sort of guide. Now these reviews, you know this already, aren't about expert gameplay. They're seeing about how the game felt and played like on your first second go, and was there enough there to entice you to go and play it again, or was it one of those ones you screamed and cried, you spent your pocket money on it, and if you were bold enough, took it back to the shop. Now that should open because I've got a blue key. Take it back to the shop. So on the top left there, you can see I've collected one part of the pod. So the first bit is fairly easy. Now from memory, this is when it started to get really annoying because I don't think. Yes, you fall down. You've got to try and judge jumping on those platforms. That blue liquid down there is some kind of acid, and we lose energy every time we fall in there. So far then, I've collected a blue key, gone through a blue door, collected one part of a pod. So this far forward, this is about as far as I ever would have got back in the day, and I might have played it every now and again, but with games like Gods Around and Shadow of the Beast 2 and a manner of all other platform games we've done, this is a bit too basic for me and a little bit annoying. When he jumps, he's got a bit of a jetpack power, so he'll float ever so slightly. But nostalgia is a big factor in these sort of games. I never had this game, so I've got no nostalgia at all for it. So all I can see is what was around at the time and what was better than it, which was a lot. On purpose stay away from the reviews of this game so it doesn't influence what I'm sort of like saying. I doubt, I might be wrong, I doubt it's got very good results because if it had a thumping theme tune maybe at the start or the beginning that might have lifted it, but it's a bit of a flat affair. And after you've done this initial bit, which I've done, which would be most people's experience, I'd have thought, of having the game, no matter how long they played it, whether I'm doing a disservice, there isn't much there, and you're going to get bored very, very quickly. Where's the thrill factor? Where's the extra bits that set it aside? There aren't any. It's a bog standard going around platform game, which hasn't where the levels haven't particularly been designed very well. That's all I can say about it. But we'll keep playing it. I've dissed it already. You might disagree. You might love the thing. But Players Premier 89. Do check out the ZX Spectrum review if you haven't already. May have come out on the Amstrad CPC as well. But looking at this, I think the experience would have been roughly the same. I mean, there's minor differences with the layout to the Spectrum version, but not a great deal. And it might be that Spectrum version was the first time I've seen it, so I didn't have the experience of at least a little bit of the mechanics of the game. Not much here to shoot you, is it? But it might be that there's something obvious I'm not doing. There might be a door I need to shoot through and unlock, and if I do that, the game might come to life. But I very much doubt it. See, there's a green door there. There's a green key somewhere we need to get access to get through there. But where is the green? Where's the green key? There it is there. How do we get there? So we've seen it, but there's no way through this hole here. So this is the only way through this side. It seems to be the only way to gain access to that side of the game. So it's trying to guess these sort of like these jumps, which is, you know, frighteningly annoying. If you've done that, then comment below. But I don't think I'll be talking to many people that own the game. Some people, after this has gone up many months, some people might have found it to try and get a bit of nostalgia there, but hopefully you did a lot better than me. Now, I reviewed quite a lot of Commodore Amiga games on the channel, over 500 at time recording. Well, it'll still be over 500 going in the future, but it might be even more than that by the time you watch this, if you're watching it a bit afterwards. If you want to see them, they're all in the playlist. Click on my username to get there. That takes you to the channel page. Then there's a playlist tab, unless YouTube have changed it. Click on that. If they have changed it, it's bound to be around there somewhere. Click on that and you'll see all the playlists, Commodore Amiga, and the various other systems we look at as well. This game isn't surprising me. I was expecting it to be not very good and a bit of a flat experience. We review all the good games, which I pretty much did early on, the poor games and the mediocre. There's a lot of mediocre games. There's a lot of games, disappointingly, that are bad conversions quite often when US Gold are involved, where instead of converting directly from the arcade from scratch, they've done a lazy conversion from the Atari ST, which had different capabilities, and it's either too dark or the screen's too tight, or it's just poor all round. I think Outrun might have been one of those, and there's a few others we've covered too, where the game could have been a lot better, but wasn't, which is a shame, and that happened a lot back then. A lot of kids were conned, but this is War Machine. Doesn't feel like a war we're going through, maybe a war through my own mind as I try and figure out what to do. But it's a puzzle platformer. But in hindsight, if you've got all the Commodore Amiga's back catalogue and you want a puzzle platformer, then, you know, look at Gods or Cadaver, something like that. Well, Cadaver's a little bit different, that's in isometric, but Gods is one of those ones, and I'm sure people will be shouting other ones in the comment section, but we reviewed quite a few, but I think Gods was probably one of the most popular ones. Right, okay. Yes, I suppose the first sort of like game's a bit like this. You have to go all the way back to the ZX Spectrum, maybe even before then. So Manic Mine on ZX Spectrum, but a character going up and down on a platform. I suppose Donkey Kong with Jumpman, who then become Mario on the Atari 600 in the arcades, probably that. And then we've got variants of that. But, you know, graphics doesn't have to be everything on a lot of games as long as the playability is there. This one looks okay graphically. It's, you know, it's 8-bit stroke 16-bit for the year of 1989, but it's just the playability is a bit lacking. As a kid with a short attention span, adults probably got even less. I don't think there's any reason to keep coming back to this thing. I mean, I always try and put myself in a position if a friend was coming around, I just got my Commodore Amiga, I wanted an even Atari ST, and I need to show off on the systems just so that say that was the best one. I certainly wouldn't put this in the box. I'd probably hide this behind a book somewhere on the shelf just in case he found it and we put it in. And he said, "Oh no, the Amiga's rubbish." Well, based on this, it ain't great. So stick with your, I've blown up. Stick with your Commodore 64, but you know, it's a historic point of view. It's a bit like a museum. This channel. We're stress busting away. Hopefully you're in fine fettle. If you're not, well, watch a few videos. I'll try it and lift you. There's quite a few to choose from now, probably about 3,000, maybe even more of the gameplay videos. And we'll keep doing it. We're never ever going to run out. Homebrews there as well. We covered a couple of homebrews recently on the Commodore Amiga. 2 homebrews of River Raid. One was called Bridge Strike. Don't confuse that with the Jungle Strike or Desert Strike series. One was called Bridge Strike, and the other one was River Raid Reloaded version 1.1. Nothing's going to beat the original River Raid on the Atari 600, of course, because that's got all the memories there. But these both of them play good homage. Bridge Strike, the loading times are a little bit long. See, that's how bored I am with this game. I'm talking about other games at the same time. I can only see a little bit of the map. Maybe I'll have a breakthrough somewhere. Or maybe a fire alarm might go off and give me a chance to like leave the house. Fingers crossed. Never eyes crossed though. Or if you're running away from something, never legs crossed. Because, you know, a polar bear's going to catch up with you. Nick, what are you going on about? Well, you know, that's the sort of thing. If you like this kind of crazy commentary, you must be quite crazy yourself. It might be that you've watched a few of these videos and didn't start off crazy, but you've ended up so. I take no blame. But if you haven't already and you feel like you should be a bit more crazy, then please click on that subscribe button if you haven't already, because that helps the channel grow. And a massive thank you to all the members who've clicked on that join button below. If you're looking at it on the main side there, that helps the channel grow. There's 3 tiers of there. It starts off quite low, so if you won't miss it, it would certainly help me out. If I had 1,000 people on the bottom tier at least, then I'd be full time. That'd be good. I'd probably still do my supermarket work, but to a much lesser degree, because that's what keeps me sane and away from the computer. So it'd only be like just a few hours a week, something like that. You got to have something different, and because I'm a workaholic, if I was at home all the time just doing this, I'd go completely insane. And talking to other people just keeps your brain fresh, doesn't it? Give you a bit of a balance. It's important to do that. Boom. I think that's what a lot of people have burnout. I think full-time people have burnout because they have nothing different. They spend the whole time on the computer, run out of ideas, and there's nothing going around in their head. You need to talk to people, and as many people as you possibly can. You need to force yourself to do stuff sometimes. Right, off we go there. No burnout here, big nose. Oh, although I do get a bit tired a lot. This is War Machine. It's more like Peace Machine. If it's a machine, then that would seem to suggest that we can turn it off at some point. But we aim the videos to be about 10 minutes. Hopefully I'm beyond that now. I've lost track of when I started. But anyway, right, can I land on this thing? This is my last go. I'm on it like a car bonnet. Right, okay. Now, can I jump that gap there? It's my only chance. If I don't do it, I'll be terribly annoyed. I can't think of any other place to go. There we go. He hasn't made it. Curse's blast. Well, that was worth it, wasn't it? So then, so what's the point of that bit over there? Maybe there's a ledge. Maybe there's a ledge. I've got to turn around and jump a blind jump of faith right or something. Yeah, that is blooming annoying. Okay, well let's just do a quick recce then of this. Oh man, let's do a quick recce of the places we've looked at so far in case I miss anything. I might be able to pick up that weapon on the screen above maybe. Right, let's pick up that green thing if I can. Can I jump across? No. How annoying is this game? It doesn't control particularly brilliant. You can use well, I'm on joystick here, but you know, I don't feel fully in control of the thing. It's all very blue. Spaceman is blue. The asteroid is blue. Nice contrast with the red in the background. Now that reminds me of the artwork of Lord of the Rings for some reason. I can imagine that in the book of Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, J.R. Hartley. One of those two wrote it there, and you could imagine that on as the map right at the start. Up we go. Boof. Kaboom. Yeah, I can't shoot for there. I can't shoot for anything. This asteroid is made of stern stuff. It isn't like made out of paper mache or anything. It's a solid asteroid of blue. I don't know what that means it's made out of. I think I did a blue ice joke in the Spectrum, so let's do a blue ice joke here as well as a motorbike drives past. Hopefully the condenser microphone has edited that out. I don't want to edit out. I don't want to confuse you with a motorbike going. What's that doing on the asteroid? Biff. Yeah, so I'm out of ideas completely with this game, but I hope you'd like to have a look at the graphics and the sound of it. To say, very early in the Commodore Amiga's run, you might not have heard of the thing. It's in that awkward era where we're just moving over from 8-bit to 16-bit. People that had always coded for 8-bit were now getting your hands on a 16-bit system, so haven't really explored the maximum potential of it. But there's just like small increments, small improvements coming each way, rather than the amazing games like Shadow of the Beast 2 and Psygnosis and all those sort of ones back at that day. But you look at the shading of Shadow of the Beast 2 and the panpipe music and stuff, you know, it come forward quite a bit in a short space of time. Shadow of the Beast 2 was quite early actually. Shadow of the Beast 1 was there as well, of course. Right. Now, maybe I shoot this thing, something will open up, eh? Maybe, or it might not. My blue bar's going almost down here, I've blown up. Ah, it says across the top, if you want to read that. Yeah, that floaty thing around me is not really doing a great job, is it? Maybe that's mainly to contain my sandwiches. I don't think there's anywhere else I can go. I don't know what's controlling these missiles firing about the place. Can I jump through there? No. Now I'm getting a bit frustrated now. So I think we will leave it there. You know, I don't think there's too much I can do. So hope you like having a look at that one. As you can tell, I'm not very impressed. I'm not sure what the scores were back in the day, but presumably not that high. That's just a guess. But I hope you liked having a look at that game. That was War Machine, quite a bland affair, published by Players Premier in 1989. Got any comments about this game, similar games, or anything retro? By all means, put those below. I love reading what your thoughts on the games are. Until next time, take great care of yourself and are very fond. Goodbye.
Goodbye.